to us having an actual Pocket Micro. Man, just gosh, look at how gorgeous that is. I just cannot tell you just how. There are a lot of ways to play the Game Boy Advance. You can buy and play an original Game Boy Advance or a Game Boy Advance SP, or you can emulate the thing with many different devices. But Ayaneo has the Pocket Micro coming out very soon. And with the excitement surrounding it, we here ordered one because we're looking forward to this tiny little handheld that packs G99, the same CPU you find in the Unicorn, but has a 3:2 ratio screen, 960 by 480, that scales at 4x, bringing Game Boy Advance into a much more beautiful, modern look and feel. And so I thought, guys, since I already have, and we've been playing on an Ayaneo Flip DS, which we do believe has the exact same screen that's being used in the Pocket Micro, we'd take a look today at what it may look like. And so we're going to show you some footage of Game Boy Advance playing on that second screen, that bottom screen of the Ayaneo Flip DS. Anyways, guys, make sure you leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking in the comments, and let's get this going. Do you take pills every day? Are you addicted to substances? Are you paying too much for your products? Well, thanks to World Cost Plus, we have a new program and we're setting the standard for dropping. No, wait, guys, I'm not Mark Cuban. Anyways, guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time, new deadheads. Today, we're going to take a look at what we think the footage will look like once the Ayaneo Pocket Micro is released. We are going to look at the Ayaneo Flip DS because the bottom screen happens to be the same specs as the screen that they're releasing in the Pocket Micro. So we think it's the same screen. So I thought, let's do a video, let's play some Game Boy Advance and take a look at what it might look like. Anyways, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of Dead Fred, and hit me with some comments. Let's go. All right, guys, so here we go. So today we're going to be using just MGBA to emulate this. And I'm going to show you the settings that I used just so we can do it on this screen. For scaling, we do have integer scaling on. We are at 3:2, just like the screen itself. And for a filter, we're using a scale 2x filter on this for that. So that's how our settings are for that. As far as the actual game itself, we are using a shader, no overlay, but we're using a shader. And we definitely, I'll show you guys what shader we're using here. We'll get some Circle of Moon running here. And to kind of show you just how beautiful this screen is. And we are using we'll use the Anime 4K Sharpen filter. Now, I don't know on the G99 if this filter will work or not, so that's one thing to keep in mind because this is not the Micro, but let's get this going and show you guys with these settings what we're dealing with. So, you know, the Ayaneo Flip DS, of course, with its dual screen, has lent itself very well to Nintendo DS and 3DS emulation, being a Windows handheld device, as well as using the dual screen for other reasons, such as, you know, having something on the bottom screen while you play up top, if you're playing a more modern game. But with this particular screen, which we're fairly certain is the same screen that's going to be used in the Pocket Micro, we wanted to take a look at this and just say, hey, this is what Game Boy Advance is probably going to look like when the Pocket Micro releases. So you can see already a really beautiful crisp screen here. Has the vampire appears. Or Dracula, I forget who it is. So it's actually Dracula. But yeah, just really beautiful colors popping right now. Popping out on this screen, this 3.5-inch screen that is 960 by 460. Excuse me, 960 by 480. Look how clear the text is, upscaled at 4x. Just really nice and crisp looking. Man, that is impressive. That is gorgeous. And we'll take a look at just Game Boy Advance today because that's the 3:2 ratio. You know, the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color are somewhat closer to a 1:1 and lend themselves better for a 1:1. And of course the Pocket Micro is using the Helio G99, so it can play up to some PS2 and GameCube, but that screen, it's not going to benefit from those systems in the same way that this is just benefiting from this. Just a really gorgeous look here. And one of the things about playing emulation is you can upscale and you can use shaders and you can use overlays and things like that to just improve and modernize the look of it versus playing on the original hardware, which there's still some benefit to playing on the original hardware. So let's take a look at some other footage, guys. Let's go see what Mario looks like. All right, as we load up some Super Mario World, Game Boy Advance 2, you can see here that on this screen, I've got it set at a perfect scaled 3:2 pixel perfect aspect ratio. And you can see I've got an upscale of 2x here and shaders on this. I'm using the Ayaneo 4K shader to sharpen the picture, and you can just see how beautiful this is on this screen. Just absolutely gorgeous. And again, this is, as far as we know, the same screen that is being used in the Pocket Micro. It's an absolute gorgeous 3:2 screen, 960 by 640, or maybe it's 680, I have to check my notes. But just absolutely gorgeous here. And you can just see the quality of it. Stunning look at a 4x upscale of the original GBA here. And so I do have it running simultaneously over here through the monitor, just so you guys can see the picture better. Now remember, the monitor is going to be stretched because the monitor is a 1080p monitor, and this is only running at 960, so a little bit there of stretching, but we'll just play through here and let you guys look at some of the footage and just see why I think that this is an absolute beautiful way to play Game Boy Advance, in addition to playing, of course, 3DS and Nintendo DS. This is such a versatile machine, and of course many people buying this machine with its 7840U are looking to play newer games, and of course it can do that, but here on the channel, you know, we're focused on retro gaming. And yeah, just an absolute lovely experience here playing Game Boy Advance. Oops. But let's load in some other Game Boy Advance games and take a look at this screen a little further. Just absolutely gorgeous. Again, gorgeous looking. And let me show you what it looks like on the actual screen itself, since that's the screen that you would get with the Micro. And just gorgeous colors and really nice, crisp text there that you can read. And of course you got this top screen, which I have a nice picture of the snow cake and Pixel up here. Shout out to Leo Zhang. But you could put whatever picture. You could have Discord running. You could have a walkthrough up here. That would be very helpful. You could have YouTube running, whatever you want to have running for that. But you can see this just looks just absolutely gorgeous as we go check our clock here. Always forget about checking the clock here. It is not AM. Nope. Zzz. There we go. Filming this at about 6 p.m. Yes, okay. So, yes, this is just a nice, crisp looking screen. Again, the colors are popping. It looks gorgeous. It's a touch screen, 960 by 480. And we're getting that 4X for Game Boy Advance. The Pocket Micro should be shipping to early bird purchasers by the end of this month or early next month. They did say originally September, but since the reviews are going out and based on their past history, I expect we'll see the units starting to go out probably the first week of September. So about 2 to 3 weeks from now, I think we'll start getting these things shipped out, and we'll have our review unit hopefully shortly, not far after that. But let's take another look at one more Game Boy Advance game just so you guys can see how beautiful this screen looks. And I am with the Dweeb, with the Tech Dweeb. Go check out his channel. It's awesome. I'm with the Dweeb Game Boy Advance right now. It's hot, man. It's hot. There's so many different ways to play it. It's got a great catalog, a lot of nostalgia, and Metroid Fusion. Look at that, 2002. Is another one of those great games that I never got to really play through the first time when it came out. And so I'm really reliving a lot of my past here, playing through a lot of older games. But look how crisp the screen is. I mean, just let me zoom in a little bit here. Just absolutely gorgeous. Of course, if you want to do like me and hook it up to a monitor and have it playing through a bigger screen here, as I've got here, you can see, even though it is a bit stretched and we don't have settings to really run it at the native monitor resolution, it just still looks fantastic, man. That just looks great. Such a great, fantastic way to play Game Boy Advance. Now, you know the Powkiddy V10 is another recent way that is pretty awesome to play Game Boy Advance at 2x, but this just steps it up another level. And we're hoping the the Ayaneo Pocket Micro, although it's overpowered for its size and it's probably a little too overpriced, is just going to give an amazing experience. We can tell from this early look, from this Flip DS using the same screen, that we're going to get just a really gorgeous time playing through some of the older catalog of Game Boy Advance. And again, even blown up on this monitor, this 15.6 inch 1080p monitor, you can still see how crisp looking the text is using these shaders and a 2x filter on the CPU. Of course, the CPU in the Micro is not nearly as powerful as what I have running here on the Flip DS. For whatever you think of Ayaneo, overpriced, bad customer service, they are certainly pushing the boundary and bringing us some really, really unique pushing products. Such a fun game here, Metroid series Fusion. I still go back to the little boy I was, 12 years old, maybe 13 years old, beating Metroid, the original Nintendo Metroid, and discovering that it was indeed true that Samus underneath the suit was actually a woman. That just blew my mind back then. But look how beautiful this is on this screen. And again, if you needed to, if you wanted to, you know, really kind of cheat, you could have up here a walkthrough, a guide, something to tell you about all the secrets where stuff is, to kind of get through this, and it'd be a really, really cool, enjoyable experience. All right, Deadheads, we're going to take a look at one more game as we wrap this video up, showcasing what we think the Ayaneo Pocket Micro screen is going to look like upscaled 4X GBA once it's released, since this is the same screen that they're using, as far as we know. If anybody knows otherwise, please correct me. But let's wrap this video up. All right, Deadheads, so what do you think? Are you excited for the Ayaneo Pocket Micro? Do you think the screen is going to be as gorgeous as this? Do you think Ayaneo is using this exact same screen? As I said, we've got right here, we can use this as a guide. We can have this right up here and use it as a guide as we're playing. The Flip DS, while kind of expensive, and of course the ROG Ally X is an amazing handheld for, you know, probably most people, but for my use case, for emulation, for having a second screen, I use this thing for work. I use this as a keyboard down here to type. It's just versatile for me, but I wanted to showcase and show you guys just how nice, you know, this screen looks, and I'm anticipating that it's going to look just as beautiful on the Pocket Micro, which hopefully will help justify that. But my gosh, look at Klonoa here. Just so clear there, the text and everything. Beautiful video here on the screen, and it's probably became my favorite way to at home play Game Boy Advance. If I'm out and about, the Powkiddy V10 is currently up there as far as playing Game Boy Advance with its 2x/3:2 ratio. That's pretty awesome to play on that as well. Or the Pocket Analog Pocket is also pretty gorgeous. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Look forward to us having an actual Pocket Micro. Man, just gosh, look at how gorgeous that is. I just cannot tell you just how beautiful this looks right here. Not nearly as beautiful on the screen it's outputting to, but on the big monitor, but here on this little 3:2 screen at the bottom of the Ayaneo Flip DS, looks beautiful. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this look at the screen on the Ayaneo Flip DS playing Game Boy Advance. If you like these type of videos, leave me a comment and let me know. Or let me know what you'd like to see more of on the channel. We have a lot of content upcoming. We're going to take a look at some older handhelds that we missed pretty soon here, including the Powkiddy X55, which is a fantastic one that came out before I got into this hobby. All right, guys, hope you stay safe out there. Love your loved ones. Mom, I miss you much. I hope you're doing well in heaven. We'll see you next time, guys. Dead Fred out.